Hi, I'm Calum Di Lieto, editor of HR Grapevine magazine, and we're here today in Camden to speak with Pippa Byrne, the head of HR at Hugo Boss UK, to talk about how they find talent to suit their culture. So thank you, Pippa, for speaking with us at HR Grapevine today. Very glamorous offices. I feel like there must be a bit of pressure to always dress really nicely. I feel a bit pressured as we're speaking. And you know, we're here today to talk about your people strategies and what you've been up to. Recently, the last couple of years, you've undergone quite a big expansion.
Yes.
What kind of things are you doing there to cater to that?
I think 2 years ago when I joined, I had just joined when we had transitioned and taken on franchise Moss Bros, integrated a number of Moss Bros employees into the company. So overnight the company went from 15 stores to 30, currently sitting at 55. So massive transition in terms of retail wholesale. When there was 15 stores, Hugo Boss in the UK was predominantly more wholesale driven, and the last 2 years have been about focusing on our retail channel, which has now overtaken and is now predominantly 75% retail and 25% wholesale.
And that's really interesting because obviously a lot of organisations, I guess, given the digital strategies and technological developments, you know, people have pulled away from the high street. But what you're saying is you've gone into it more and expanded. You know, what do you see going forward? Do you see that getting even bigger?
I think at the moment we're looking more at embedding what we have now and making the best out of what we have. I do think that Hugo Boss don't want to flood the high street. They do want to look at specific areas where they do grow. There are certain projects that they are looking at the moment in terms of a Hugo store in London, which is a big project for us, and generally there are a number of refits in terms of our current stores that we're looking at, but in terms of any more stores, it will be very small.
And in the fashion world, Hugo Boss has a really, really strong brand, you know, world-renowned. But how does that translate in terms of your employer brand? What kind of things are you doing to attract employees to work here?
In terms of our employer brand, we have a really strong culture within our business. We live within a number of values, and generally we have great loyalty from our employees. They have a very competitive package, as well as being able to dress in Hugo Boss, obviously, which is a great advantage. Above that, we also have, you know, sales-driven commission. And generally, it's I've been here for 2 years and it's been a great place to work so far. But still a lot more to do in terms of people and HR.
And I mean, you've just sort of touched on it there in terms of dressing in Hugo Boss. Do all employees, you know, from all levels, do they have to? Do they choose to? How does it work?
In stores, obviously the uniform is Hugo Boss, and we do have a style guide for our employees with regards to grooming, etc., for male and female. We do provide them with free uniform to wear every day, which is obviously a big confidence boost when you're dressed in Hugo Boss. In terms of head office, they get a very generous clothing allowance, so you could dress in Hugo Boss every single day. We still get people that don't come to work in Hugo Boss, but it's just part of the brand.
And when you're recruiting employees, how do you ensure that they suit your culture and, you know, they fit into the fabric of the organisation?
We do have quite a robust recruitment process, and we do generally look for people who have experience in fashion previously. However, we do have some fantastic store managers out there who haven't necessarily come from a fashion background. It's more about their personality and service to the customer, and I think you generally get a feel when you're doing an interview whether somebody can deliver that for you or not. It generally, I'd say, is around personality and that tenacity to sales drive.
And I guess when you're looking for more senior staff, you know, the bosses of Hugo Boss, what do you look for in those people?
I think once again we do look for general experience within fashion, but that's not saying that we wouldn't consider somebody who hasn't. I think once again it falls under the personality and whether they'd fit within our culture. It's a very friendly, family orientated culture within Hugo Boss UK, and generally what we're looking for is someone that will be able to just slot in with experience and what they can bring to our brand.
And in terms of that culture, I guess, with such a big expansion going on over the 2 years, how are you getting these new employees to be part of that family culture and get involved?
I think within head office we have quite a lot of team building activities. We're very competitive. We have people that take part in marathons on behalf of Hugo Boss, cycle rides. I think our MD he's done the challenge where they swim the channel.
Oh,
so
right.
They really, it builds a culture of all working together. And we do kind of, Halloween evenings up on the 5th floor, which you saw earlier, a lovely view, and generally team build with everybody. With regards to new employees in stores, they understand the culture of the brand from our Hugo Boss University, because it really takes them through the history of Hugo Boss and how we live and breathe our brand.
Talking of Hugo Boss's University, what do you guys do there to really tailor your employees to fit within you guys?
We don't really, in terms of tailoring them to fit within Hugo Boss, we are really looking at people's personalities. We have some great characters out there who, customers will go to and want that specific person to deal with them. In terms of the university, it's a number of modules that we take them through in terms of training, development, talent management, but also the basics on how to sell a suit. When I joined, I didn't even know, unfortunately, what a placket was. So going through the Hugo Boss University, it teaches you all about suiting, tailoring. So, it takes you through the finer details of really understanding, one, the brand, but two, the product that we sell.
Yeah. And for existing employees, what kind of rewards, other than the fact that they get to dress head to toe in Hugo Boss, what kind of rewards and benefits do you have in place for your employees?
We have career paths in place, so we do have what's called a career path, and that career path starts from when you join to what the potential that the employee has, and with each module it's very clear where they can go to and the training that we do. We do have store managers masters, so at the moment we have a number of store managers who've been highlighted as future talent who are going through a master's course, and it covers leadership, but it also gets them to come into head office and understand how back of house works, and they have a mentor as well as one of the directors who will spend that time with them and mentor them to move them to the next level.
And how important is mentorship, within Hugo Boss?
It's really important. I think we have some strong mentors. We have our area managers who are great leaders, and they identify our talent, and then what we do together is agree what a personal development plan looks like for them to understand what the potential is within Hugo Boss, not just within the UK and Ireland, but also within the whole world, because obviously it's not just in the UK that we're based.
And obviously, as you are a global organisation, I guess that allows for movement of talent. Does that help to retain your employees, and are there any other strategies you have to really retain and hold on to your top talent?
We have a global strategy, so all of our top talent is identified and then it's shared within the whole of Hugo Boss. And we have a number of great successes where we've recently had the retail trading director from Hugo Boss UK move to a European role, a retail director. We've also had our recent managing director who was promoted to vice president for Hugo Boss. So, great drivers, but we also have a lot of internal succession in terms of head office roles where we would like to grow our own talent. So when we have the key roles, the employees from stores can apply, and we have also had a number of people from stores that have gone into head office roles.
And finally, Hugo Boss has a very strong male brand in the fashion world. You know, when you think of Hugo Boss, you think of men in really nice suits. So how do you create a more diverse, workforce and bring in more female employees?
I think it's a stigma that's with Hugo Boss, but I think when you go into the stores, you'll see that there is a lot of women and a lot of women that can actually sell the brand in terms of suits, etc. We also have a really strong women's wear range for Hugo Boss. So we do attract, surprisingly, a lot of female candidates for roles, and actually head office, there's a large proportion of females here who absolutely love the brand and like buying it for their partners too.
Brilliant. Okay, well, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us today, and I'll be off to buy a Hugo Boss suit.
Thank you, you're welcome.
Thank you.